Police Commissioner Mike Bush is now with me. Good morning, Commissioner, and thank you for your time this morning.
Morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. A nationwide lockdown is in force as of midnight Wednesday. What does that mean for people at home?
So at the highest level, everyone apart from essential services, central workforce, and those needing to go to get essential food supplies need to stay home. The easiest way to say this is staying home saves lives.
If people don't stay home and police and say the public decide to get in their vehicles and go for a drive aimlessly, what will happen to them if they're caught by police?
Right, if they don't fit into any of the prescribed categories as to why you're allowed to be out there, we, the police, will be out there, we'll be highly visible, we'll be interacting with people, we'll be stopping and having a chat to find out whether they're compliant, etc. The first part of that is we'll be really educating people and encouraging them to comply. If people don't comply, then we'll be using the authority that we have either under our own legislation or under other law to ensure that people do comply. We don't want to have to be out there with a big stick. That's not normally our initial approach. But if people don't comply, that's where we've got to go because, and I can't say this often enough, complying with us will save lives.
Indeed, because as I was listening to a microbiologist this morning, this is serious stuff. It really is. We are at war with the virus, and the foot soldiers, and this is a quote from him, is in fact the general public. How will police look at trying to enforce this? Will you have more police on the ground? Do you expect police activity to increase or decrease during this lockdown period, Commissioner?
That's a very good question. So we've been challenging ourselves on that very point for the last week or two. The way we see this, COVID-19 response for the entire public service, including the police in terms of compliance, is our top priority. At the same time, we also have to deal with other matters, whether it's family violence or other serious violence out there in the community. We'll be doing both, but you will see more of us. We are tasking all of our staff to be out there more visible to ensure that people do comply. We'll do that in a really calm and compassionate way. We'll be very professional as we always are. We'll be very caring about people. But at the end of the day, if people aren't smart enough to comply, we will be intervening.
How will the military play a part in all of this?
Well, I hope they never have to play a part, but they are standing by. Chief of Defence and I are very close contact, as you would expect. They are standing by that if we need them to complement police staff out there in communities, they will. But they operate like we do in terms of, they're a caring organisation. They have the same approach that we do. We really want to encourage and educate as a first step.
Commissioner, what type of crimes do you expect police will be dealing with? Have you forecast that?
Yes, we have. So there are some crimes that will increase and there will lots of others that decrease. So obviously with the closing of a lot of social areas, there'll be less demand on police services. As you know, we commit a lot of our resource between midnight and 3 a.m. into a lot of hospitality areas.
Yeah.
With this, we won't need to. So we'll revisit our deployment model to make sure that our staff are more visible, probably during daylight hours than they normally would be. We'll be around supermarkets and other places to keep order, to ensure people are safe and that people are really respecting each other's space and respecting each other in terms of what they need to do.
What happens if somebody wants to go for a drive, say, to the local beach or to just get out and about to a local park? Are they in a position to drive there, or is the message...
No, they're not. I mean, there's a short answer to that. No, they're not.
Right.
You only go out in your vehicle if you need to go and get food, essential medical supplies, essential food supplies, or medical treatment. Otherwise, you stay at home.
Commissioner, is there a worry about domestic violence? We have appalling rates of domestic violence in this country, and I wonder whether people with cabin fever might, go slightly nuts over this.
Yeah, look, we've been studying what's been happening overseas, and yes, that's a real issue. When people are confined to those spaces, human nature being what it is, and there are people who already have a tendency in that direction. So yes, we anticipate there will be an increase. So we need to increase our response into that. We need to increase our prevention into there, and also there are other agencies that we really want to keep as essential services so that they can support people who are in the middle of that.
Do you anticipate police having to be used to guard the likes of supermarkets and essential services, not just for the safety of those working, but also for the general public themselves?
Guarding's not something we do, but we'll be highly visible, we'll be present, we'll be patrolling, we'll be available if required. There may be other resources available to act as guards. I know that a lot of the public service, some of them are closing their doors, and their guards will be available. So, we can move that other workforce around to help us do this stuff.
You've also been looking at overseas modelling in terms of what other countries have been doing during the lockdown period. Can you give us an insight into what police have been looking at and what could be implemented as a result of watching what the international community has been doing?
Yeah, so we keep a close eye on our Australian colleagues. I'm part of a network with the 8 Australian police commissioners. We've been talking weekly about how we keep our own organisation safe so we can keep the community safe, but also what we've stopped doing and what we have to do more of. So, yeah, we're really joined up on that stuff. As you know, we've got to take a different approach to road breath testing, which we've done, and we're all lined up on that. But, we're still out there keeping our roads safe.
What's the main message, finally, Commissioner, that you want to say to the New Zealand public as we come closer towards a nationwide lockdown?
Sure. Be kind, stay home, save lives.
Nicely said. Police Commissioner Mike Bush, thank you so much for your time this morning. I do appreciate it.
Cheers, Chris. All the best.
You too.